It is stunning to me that we are as screwed up as we are in this country on energy policy. And in both sides,
biodiesel excise tax.
and both sides, and both sides have been crazy on this. There are no clean hands on this subject. And it pains me as a former telecom and IT guy to say this, but if I'm talking to a business school class today, I would argue the place to be where the most jobs and most wealth created worldwide over the next 25 years is going to be in the energy sector. And one of the things that just blows my...
Yes.
Be careful.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Blows my freaking mind is that we have got, certain business organizations in America who are basically saying, let's just keep the status quo. Who are opposing a fundamental change in our energy policy. It would be like in the 80s if the National Chamber of Commerce said, we are adamantly opposed to cell phones. Or in the 90s, the National Association of Manufacturers had said, this internet stuff may not be worthwhile, and let's not change our internet information technology systems. Now, I am, and Lowell, get this down, I think there is not a silver bullet. I think your word exactly is right. Portfolio approach. None of us in this room are smart enough to figure out what's going to be the silver bullet. So yes, more wind, more solar, more biofuels, although I think corn-based ethanol is a stupid government-driven decision and not a market-based decision, but other biofuels make more sense. More nuclear energy. Yes, we got to use coal and continue to find ways to do it in a cleaner, more efficient way. Smart grid technology. I am not opposed to additional domestic oil and gas exploration. I think we ought to put it all out there. And I actually think there are 3 reasons why that this has actually got a better chance, whether it is a national renewable energy standard, whether it is a cap and trade system, or whether if we were really starting from scratch, we ought just done a carbon tax as opposed to the system that could be gamed the way cap and trade could be. But there are 3 reasons why I think this has perhaps got a better possibility of success than the political prognosticators indicate. One is, I think most American business, as kind of messed up as Copenhagen was, most American business realizes that China is starting to eat our lunch. Even though they have not put in place national standards, they have higher auto efficiency standards. They are 5x or 10x investing on carbon sequestration the way we are. You talked about the wind turbines and solar. They have made the economic decision that this is going to be a major job creator for their country, and they are eating our lunch, number 1. Number 2, you have on this bill, on this approach, unlike on health care, unfortunately, you've got a number of our colleagues on the other side who are recognizing from the business standpoint that we've got to do this. People like, for example, Lindsey Graham recently, who and a host of others who I think will show some of the energy meetings that we've had so far. There's a lot of bipartisan potential to change our energy standards. And third is, I would say to some of our more liberal Democrats in the room, there's an acknowledgement that you can't have this purist approach. That this is not going to be totally solved by some airy dream of it's just going to be all solar and wind. That nuclear has to be a piece of this. Coal has to be a piece of it. That there's going to be a portfolio approach. And I think those 3 factors make the possibilities of some action in this area on a national basis much higher than it was, say, 6 months ago.